Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cinema Regulars, the movie review show where we see so many movies in theaters that the employees know us by name and they don't ask us what movies they're seeing, they ask us how many. Now, today, you may be noticing something a little bit different. Where's Isaac? Where's Isaac at? Today, we have a special guest starting us off, my brother Merrick, the ticket. You'll remember.
Oh,
Whoa,
I'm the
webcam.
ticket. I'm not
Exactly.
Isaac.
You're not Isaac, you're the ticket. What are you doing here? Interesting.
I'm not doing anything with the
Isaac could
camera.
not join us for the first movie, and instead of just foregoing it completely, Merrick and I will be tackling the first movie here, and then Isaac will join us later. So, brief rundown of what we're going to be looking at today. Merrick and I will be taking a look at the new Bill Skarsgård movie Locked. Isaac will eventually see it, but I'm sure he's kicking himself in the pants over not seeing the newest Bill Skarsgård movie. That guy loves him. After that, Isaac will join us for the next movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a new Looney Tunes movie. Real interesting to see them back in the fray here. And then
Mhm.
Merrick will unfortunately leave us, as me and Isaac will cover the newest movie from Flying Lotus, Ash, featuring Aaron Paul of Jesse Pinkman fame. Pretty interesting. As always, guys, be sure to subscribe because it really helps us out, and feel free to use the timestamps below in the description to skip around to your favorite movie or jump straight to the rankings if that's all you care about. And without further ado, let's jump into our first movie, Locked. And now, since Isaac is not here and I cannot click off of my screen for editing purposes, Merrick, would you please do us the honor of reading off the description for Locked, please?
Right. When Eddie breaks into a luxury SUV, he steps into a deadly trap set by a self-proclaimed vigilante who delivers his own brand of twisted justice. Trapped inside the car, Eddie soon discovers escape is an illusion and survival is a nightmare.
Ooh, sounds rather interesting, and it was pretty interesting. It's you you see a lot of this like confined space survival. Like Isaac and I watched this movie Inside with Willem Dafoe. Whenever someone is locked inside of like a confined space and they can't get out, so your survival depends on your resourcefulness. What can you do with just the limited things at your disposal here? And it didn't quite go that route where he was like, tearing apart the leather on the seats to make a strap rope or something, like
Mhm.
doing that. But it was interesting the kind of hell that he was put through in there, because much like the movie Inside with Willem Dafoe, um, the bad guy did the same kind of thing where he cranked the AC like way down, like it was like to like -0. So I don't know what kind of car he's got where the
Yeah.
AC is that strong.
And then
Um,
blasting yodeling.
Blasting yodeling, yeah. If it was just like cold, I think I would be able to like hold it together. But being insanely cold and having yodeling music like on loop for like
Max volume.
max volume for 24 hours straight, I think the combination of those two would really like throw me off.
Yeah,
And by off I mean like into despair.
yeah, yeah.
So same thing there. And he cranked up the heat like super high. Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
He
should
didn't
we?
play yodeling that
He
time
didn't
though.
play. Should we just talk about the piss?
Yeah, I think we should probably just talk about the piss at this point.
What did you? What
'Cause
happened with the?
he,
What happened with the piss, Merrick?
well, because okay, so he's locked in a car, so he drinks all his water bottle that he has. Um, and so he's locked in a car, so he can't get any more water.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's locked in a car, so he doesn't. have a bathroom to go to, so he pees into the empty water bottle, and then at some point, I think it was when the heat was all the way up.
Yeah, it was the heat.
That's extra gross because then it's like
Is that it's
hot
warm?
piss.
The hot piss, the 90-degree piss.
And
Ugh.
he's like dying of dehydration, and he's like gonna drink the pee, and he's like, oh no, and then the guy calls him on like the screen. He's like, I really thought you were gonna do it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, there's water under the seat. I'd put it there in the first place. And he's just like, go and drink the water. So, unfortunately,
Yeah.
that would not last. As eventually, later in the
Mhm.
movie, he does drink his pee out of the bottle, which is yucky.
Yeah, this is yucky.
That was not fun to watch. Um, so the two most interesting aspects about this movie is the like philosophy that the guy was trying to go by, like where each player in the movie's headspace is at. Eddie,
Mhm.
like, he's lost a bunch of money and now he doesn't have his van and he's got all this. So he's just trying to make some money to get his van back. So he's stealing and breaking into
Yeah.
cars. And then you get William, the bad guy, who's at the end of his life almost because he's got like, what he got? What did he have? Butthole cancer? Yeah,
Yeah, he had butthole
he had
cancer.
prostate cancer, and he said his car had been broken into 6 times, 7 counting him, and he was doing something about it. And he was going on like the ramifications of, stealing and like law and order and this, that, and the other thing. Um, that I felt didn't go particularly deep. I think any, plebeian with 2 brain cells to bang together to. What was the thing that you said about neurons?
I don't even
You
remember.
don't remember. Okay. I think anyone with, 2 brain cells to bang together can probably piece together the stealing bad, don't steal stuff philosophy they were trying to go for here. But
Yeah.
the other thing I thought that really did pay off very well was all like the action and the violence in the movie. Um,
Mhm.
because it was all just like really, really effective and like produced
Well,
very well.
yeah, and I mean it's not like full of it, but like when it because he's just locked in a car for the whole movie.
Right.
So there's not too much, but like when it does happen, it's really good.
Yeah, because it kind of catches you by surprise because it's literally just him sweating his balls off in a car for like 15 minutes
Mhm.
straight, and then something will happen, and then you're just like, whoa. Like
Yeah.
the first one that it was, he was reaching like up into like the circuitry of the car, trying to flip the main
Oh,
power switch, and he was getting his
ugh.
finger up there, and he was trying to flick it, and he flicks it really bad, and like his entire fingernail just like cracks like straight off and it's still hanging on the end, and it's just so
Ugh.
abrupt and so like graphic that it was like a
Yeah.
punch in the face. um there was a moment where a guy got like just run over under the car and like sucked up under the tires, and
Oh yeah.
while that was in the trailer, like it didn't really do it justice in the movie because it was just sickening.
Mhm. And then the other guy getting like slammed into the gate.
Oh yeah, he got his head like bashed into a chain link fence from the
Yeah.
car, and it just like fucking shredded cheesed his head through the fence. It was wild. And then towards the end there was moments where William comes and takes driver control over the car. Like he gets in and starts driving, and it's him and Bill Skarsgård's character Eddie talking about
Yeah.
stuff while Eddie's like zip tied to the bar that's down there. And William will just like slam on the brakes, and Eddie will just crash, or like, just crack his nose into the dashboard, and it's just so brutal. Like they did those scenes very very well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anything else, Mo?
I'm just trying to remember because it was just like a few days ago we watched this.
Yeah. I thought the stuff with his daughter was pretty cute.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he's kind of the asshole dad who's not doing anything for his daughter, but then, you know, at the end he really comes back through for it.
By the bike.
Yeah, he sells his van to buy a little girl's bike just so he can get to her school to pick her up on time like he promised.
I mean, and also to teach her how to ride a bike.
Well, yeah, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a quite a bit of like foreshadowing stuff. Like when he was locked in the car, he watched another dad teaching his daughter how to ride a bike, and then that came back at the end. And then he found like a dog in one of the cars with the windows cracked, and he poured his water bottle in to give the dog a little water. But then that eventually bit him in the ass when he didn't have any water.
And the windows weren't cracked.
The windows weren't cracked, right? Yeah, he gave all the water to the puppy, so he didn't have any for himself.
Yeah. I forgot what I was just gonna say. Oh, the lottery ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of cruel.
Yeah.
Like the cruel irony of that. He won $500 in the lottery. Because
Which was exactly what he needed.
Yeah. Well, he needed like 400 something, so he still would have had like some money left over as well.
Yeah.
But he had that lottery ticket on him. He didn't scratch off the last one. But if he had done that, he wouldn't have needed to break into the car into the first place. So
yeah,
the whole thing could have been avoided. And
it could have been avoided if you just scratched them all off at once.
Yeah, dummy. Why would? That's not how you
play. Yeah, why would you save some for later?
I don't know, in case he gets locked in a car and needed something to do.
I mean,
I don't know. That's true.
I guess.
Yeah. All right. You know, it's just a nice little movie, decently entertaining. Not a whole lot to say about it, but you know, some nice things here and there. I think we should probably be good enough to head into the rankings right away. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll do rankings.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10.
Fair enough. I was also planning on giving this movie a 7 out of 10, you know. Like I said, you know, it's just a nice little flick. There's not it doesn't go too deep, it doesn't go too crazy, but I really liked a lot of the stuff that they did with it. And you know, Bill Skarsgård, I got to give it the guy credit where credit's due. Like even if the script is like complete dog shit like The Crow was, he does put 100% into every character on screen, and you got to give him props for that. And he did a really good job here as well.
I like Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's just a good actor. And then
he's a good actor.
William, the guy who owned the car, he was I forget the actor's name, but he's
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. He's Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter, yeah.
So it was cool seeing him back and doing stuff again. So we will get Mr. Isaac in here as we move on into our next movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up. And then my computer crashed. We lost all our webcam footage. Yay! Isaac, welcome. So glad you can join us for you know, some of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
After all of that. So, we are taking a look at a new Looney Tunes movie. It is great to see them back in the theaters again.
Absolutely.
You want to take us away with the description?
Yeah, Isaac gets to do his thing again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get to.
Yeah, take your job back.
Thank you. I will. Porky Pig and Daffy Duck become Earth's only hope when their antics at the local bubblegum factory uncover a secret alien mind control plot. Faced with cosmic odds, they must save their town and the world while not driving each other totally loony.
Oh, totally loony.
Yes, loony,
loony.
as in the name, Looney Tunes. There it is.
Oh yeah. I will say, you know what? This was probably the best movie about gum I've ever seen.
Yes,
True.
absolutely. I'm sure there are other movies about gum.
No.
I'm sure. No,
Name
I'm
one.
pretty sure I've seen at least
Name
one. I don't know.
Yeah, this.
So,
It was this.
Not this. The another one.
Called?
You're lying. I think you're. What was it called? Yeah.
What was it called?
To chew.
I think he's
The
lying.
Chew.
Yeah, it was called Chew.
It was called.
You know,
It was not.
It was just called Chew. It's like the movie Rubber, but with a piece of gum instead.
All right, now you're just lying. Now you're lying.
lying.
Not
He's
only
lying.
to me, not only to Merrick, but you're lying to our our loyal viewers. And that
Who
makes me
knows?
sad.
How dare you.
Maybe there's someone out there who makes movies that's watching us, and they might make that now.
They're not.
I would pay
No.
to watch that movie.
I'm
I'd watch
sure you
Rubber
would.
but gum.
Anyways, so first things first, I want to shout out Ketchup Entertainment. They are on point with this.
Oh,
They came
they
with
absolutely are.
Hypnotic, which was a great movie. They put out
Mhm.
Hellboy, Crooked Man,
Yes.
great movie,
Mhm.
especially compared to the last Hellboy movie. And then
Real.
now Looney Tunes, and it seems like they're going after the market on the Looney Tunes because, as you brought to my attention just today, Ketchup Entertainment swooped in and bought up that Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie that Warner Brothers they made the whole movie, and then they just Batgirled it as a tax write-off.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
so-
yeah, we're not gonna release that, and everyone was really mad. And then Ketchup, like the fucking Superman that they are, swooped in and they said, "I will purchase this movie." And now it's
Yes,
coming out
so
in
they-
2026 next year. I'm amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
They are the ones in charge of distribution for it as it looks. So I am
Sweet.
very excited for that.
Same. Yeah. But if it's anything like this movie, it's gonna be something good because this movie, oh my god, it was such a breath of fresh air to be smiling throughout the duration of a movie again, like the whole time.
Oh yeah. Like
This was such a fun ride.
It's fun because like it's that Looney Tunes is such a perfect like style of comedy. It has its own style of comedy. You can't really define it. It's just the jokes are just funny. Like there are jokes in this that are way funnier than they have any right to be, but they're funny because it's Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I'll occasionally think of like a joke from that, and like I would just start laughing again.
Oh my gosh, like the Farmer Jim joke is still the one that keeps popping up in my head. Cause like
Yeah.
I love that he's just, first off, the fact that he's just a painted dude where like only his mouth moves when he talks,
Yeah.
and that's like it.
Mhm.
And then like and then like as he's walking away from Porky and Daffy, he's just
Yeah, he's like completely stiff because he's just
Yeah.
painted in place.
it's so funny.
It is really funny. My favorite joke from the movie is just anytime Daffy's wearing a hat. Because he's got like such a like a tiny pointy little pin head, and it's just like a
Yeah.
normal like average sized human head hat. So it's just like it's like barely hanging on to his little tiny noggin, and just like so much
Mhm.
space hanging off of it.
Then you got, like,
Go ahead.
in the beginning when their children, Porky Pig's reading a book completely normally, and then Daffy hits him in the head with a hammer or whatever, and he's like,
Oh, I forgot about
He
that.
starts
Yeah,
stuttering. It was
stutters
he's the
from
reason why
brain
Porky
damage.
stutters.
his brain damaged.
Yo, speaking of Porky, shout out my dude. He's apparently Porky's got game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I actually liked that character though. I liked what was it? Penelope was her name?
Petunia.
Petunia.
Apparently, you
that
didn't
was-
like her as
You-
much to
you-
know her
you-
name.
I got close
Exactly.
enough.
Mark's
Oh, I
like,
no,
really like that character.
yeah.
What's even her name?
What's her
Yeah.
name?
We don't-
Yeah, you liked her so much you didn't remember her name.
But
Tisk.
no, it was I don't know if she like already existed in Looney Tunes or not. Either way, I don't care because
There
it was
was-
really good.
There's been like a female counterpart to Porky Pig in existence. I don't know if it was Petunia, but there has been one.
Hey, let's just be happy that Looney Tunes are back. That's what it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's
That's
It's
true.
you know they
Thank
haven't
God.
been back. They haven't been back since that Cartoon Network show. No, I refuse to acknowledge it. Yes, only since the show. There's been no Looney Tunes thing that has come out since
Oh.
the show. We are not. Yep, it's the only one that matters.
Yeah. It took me a second. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what else have they made? Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Space Jam 2.
No,
Not real.
I didn't want to think about that.
Not real.
It's not real. It's not.
Not real.
You
Doesn't
Dreamt
exist.
that up.
It's a figment of your imagination. Not real.
Is not real. No, Tomar.
Does not exist.
Crazy. Alright. How about the movie itself, you guys?
No, this was a really like the plot of this movie was really fun. I like
Yeah.
I like that it's they see mind control is happening, so we have to stop it, and then like the twist that it's not for a nefarious plot is very Looney Tunes. I like that.
I mean, the alien guy did say, and I quote, "Now you get front seats to watch your planet blow up." So, they
Yeah,
were kinda
Bro needs to work
justified-
on his phrasing. He needs to work on his phrasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They justified retaliation. That's kind of his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, pretty much every
Oh.
joke in this movie worked, and
Almost every joke in this movie worked.
yeah, I personally, this is something I'm mad about. I hate when people are just obsessed with boba tea. It's such a mid drink. Shut up, please. I beg you. It's not that good. Okay. Cause like I saw the guy like sucking on something brown because he like spat it out as his minion, right? And then he's been going on the whole time about this. Oh, the precious resource of the earth. You must acquire the resource. I'm like, it's fucking boba tea, isn't it? It's gonna be that. It's gonna be that. And then it was. And then I'm like, please stop. Just in general, stop with it, okay?
To visit an earlier joke, it's just milk tea. It's just milk tea and roots in a cup. Get a personality.
Get a personality. It's balls of root vegetable and milk and tea in a cup. Get a personality.
I had it once. It's not that good. Chill.
so
it's not.
mid.
I've
It's
had it
so
too.
mid.
Like I didn't like it. And then the other thing is like it's one of those things where I don't like things that has a very specific way you have to have it. You can't just have any part of that separate from each other for that drink. Like you need to chew all the tapioca pearls. You need to
You
like
can just order
do
it
all
without
that, and it's
and just
like
have a regular milk tea, like most
Yeah.
of people throughout all of history.
milk tea is decent. Like I actually liked that was the part of it I liked. I actually thought it was decent. But like it has to just be the tapioca balls that are in
Yeah,
it.
nobody's
That is what makes people
nobody's.
go crazy about boba.
I guess people just really like munching on balls. Apparently,
I guess.
how you like that mentality? I don't see anybody
they-
going over the tea itself. Okay,
They don't
You're like
taste
munching on
good
balls.
either. Like they
So
don't really have a taste either.
I know
Like, they
they're
don't-
so mid. It's such a not great drink.
I had it once, and those were like my least favorite part of the drink.
Yeah, so the big alien bad guy, the whole cornerstone of why he's here in the first place, he's not really a bad guy. He wants to save the planet from an incoming asteroid. But he only wants to save it because it's the only place where you can get boba tea. And he like gets down on his knees and bows before it. I'm like, all right, chill out, man. It's not that good. And not even like him. It's just like, it's everywhere. Okay, it's the new trend. And it's annoying. That's
what's
my
really,
hot take.
You know what's really fun to me is that no matter how much my personal tastes and everything have changed, and like my like stuff I'm into and all that, Looney Tunes will always just be like good. Like
Yeah.
it's always fun. Like
Yeah, it didn't fall off.
Daffy going crazy will always just be kind of funny.
Looney.
Like
Actually.
Looney, sorry. He goes Looney.
Isaac,
You know,
Looney.
where he
Get
goes
it right.
and he just jumps everywhere. It's fucking funny. It's great. I love it.
He's a goofy guy, what can I say?
I also loved having Porky Pig and Daffy Duck being the main characters of this.
Yeah, they're a good
I thought
duo.
They are. Like, and it's really funny because whenever I've thought of Looney Tunes in my life, like Porky's just the dude that does the introduction or the goodbye.
Yeah.
Like that's all he's ever been. And like it's nice to see him actually have like a role. Like it's kind of cool.
He's been a tertiary character at best for like his entire career, if you will.
And this time Bugs Bunny was not even in the movie. So
True.
There wasn't a single other Looney Tunes character in this movie.
Petunia.
Well, you know what I mean.
Daffy, Porky, Petunia, and then
the alien
dude. Yeah, the alien, and then everyone else is human.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, this was just a whole lot of fun. Like, it's just massive enjoyment for just the purpose of pure enjoyment.
All the jokes were great. Like when they were one of my favorite ones that I keep thinking about as well is they're fixing up the house and they have a big hole in the front door like step and they just slap a pizza box on it and say it's good.
I thought you were gonna bring up the one where they were washing the windows, like they were.
Porky
was outside, Daffy was
too.
inside. They were washing the windows, and then they both like lean forward and Daffy scrubs the outside. So like, there's the windows open, and then they're just doing this in front of each other with a towel.
Yeah,
for no
that
reason.
is a good one.
Or
that
the
is
one,
a great one
where it like Daffy shows up and Porky's like, "You're supposed to be at the house laying eggs," and it cuts back to the house and there's just like the rat with the fake beak on it.
and everything's on fire.
Everything's on fire.
Like, don't worry. And then he's like, and then he cuts back and he's just like, "You're supposed to be laying the eggs." And they showed him laying eggs a couple times beforehand, and I was like, that doesn't make sense, but cartoon, whatever. But then Daffy replies with like, "Do you know how hard it is for a male duck to lay eggs?" And I'm just like, all right, they addressed the fact. It's funny. I'll give them points for that. The fact that they addressed it.
Another one of my favorite jokes of the movie. The asteroid's coming, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta figure out a way to stop it. Do you have any weapons?" And the alien's like, "We have goo.
We have goo.
We have
We have
We
lots
have
of
goo.
goo.
We have goo.
Do you have any lasers or bombs? Or we have goo.
We have goo."
We have goo. No, this was just great. Like we can sit here and talk about our favorite jokes, but the word that perfectly sums this movie up is just fun.
Yeah,
It was
just raw
pure
fun.
enjoyment.
I think already, if no one has anything else I gotta say, we could just move right into the numbers.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start us off. This is gonna top off my sevens for right now. 7 out of 10. This was just pure enjoyment. I can't wait for this to come out on DVD. It's gonna be so fun, and it's just gonna be a great addition to my comedy collection.
I'm also going to give this a 7. It will also be at the top of my 7s currently. This was just supreme fun from beginning to end. Like, I can't remember a single moment while watching this movie that I didn't have a smile on my face, and it was great.
And then another 7 for me. We got all 7s so far.
Ding, 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 jackpot,
Jackpot.
triple
Movie.
7.
It's just so fun. I can't wait for the next Looney Tunes
Yeah,
movie.
they just gotta put
Coyote
ketchup.
one.
They just gotta put Ketchup Entertainment in charge of all the Looney Tunes stuff, and then they would just be back in business.
True.
It's so good. Like, I cannot wait to see. This is like the meme where it's like, we shall watch your career with great interest.
All right, Merrick, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast and joining us for the movies.
Mo, thank you for taking care of the reading on the first movie.
Yeah,
because someone wasn't here.
I was sick, motherfucker.
Yeah, for during that movie only, apparently.
During that movie only, we watched all
up.
these in one go.
Shut up.
All right. Merrick, we will see you again next podcast for the big one.
Yeah.
We got
Oh, yeah.
something big cooking next podcast, and everybody's coming. So we will see you then.
Nice.
And until then, we
Yeah.
will wish you goodbye. I'm Eric.
Bye.
Moving on to our final movie of the night, we have Ash, starring Aaron Paul, and the latest movie by the director Flying Lotus. Most famous, of course, of reading his emails on the Eric Andre show. Isaac, if you'll take us away with the description, please.
Rhea wakes up on a mysterious planet to discover her crewmates have been slaughtered. When a man arrives to rescue her, an ordeal of psychological and physical terror ensues. Warning: this film contains extended sequences of flashing lights.
That's in the description.
It's in the description.
Wow. They should
I mean,
have
they
just put that
weren't
in
kidding.
They should have
weren't
just
kidding.
put that in the title of the movie, to be honest. Because
Ash,
damn.
warning: this movie contains sequences of flashing lights.
Put Ash in parentheses. Matter of
Movie's
fact.
called Ash, parentheses, epilepsy warning.
No, epilepsy warning, parentheses, Ash.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Because, yes, okay. It is very prominent. They make much use of the flashing lights, the flashing colors, the swirling visuals. Like it almost felt like a fucking Danganronpa hypnosis video. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Real.
like if they came out like Flying Lotus had a ploy to brainwash theater goers with his newest movie, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I'd believe that.
Yeah.
I believe it.
The movie is still, like, even with all that, it is visually stunning. Like, it very much is.
All the visuals are great. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah, no, Shudder was the ones that did
Shudder
this,
movie.
and
Yeah.
it's Shudder never misses. They never do. Every single Shudder thing I have ever seen ranks above a 5. Like every time. Always. And
Yeah.
it's so nice, and it's nice to see them getting as big as they are. Like they're no longer just a streaming platform anymore for like indie developers, like indie people who are just making movies or
Yeah, they're
like
starting to get their
horror
own
stuff.
money now.
Yeah, like this is really cool to see them get to, like, they got some big names in here. Fucking Aaron Paul, my dude. Like, granted,
Right?
I don't know if he's done anything really since Breaking Bad, but
Uh,
like,
BoJack Horseman, and he was just in something? Question mark. I guarantee you he was in some kind of John Wick style movie. There's no way he hasn't been.
that sounds plausible. And he's in uh oh, well, he's a voice in Invincible.
Yeah, I knew that.
That was one of them. Yeah,
Right.
BoJack Horseman.
We don't gotta look it
Yeah.
up now.
Yeah, I don't know. But nah, Aaron Paul freaking did a good job, by the way. Dude still has it. Like, he's a great actor. And the main girl, she like the chick who played Rhea, she's also a, like, I mean, not like huge name, like not like household name, but she's been in quite a couple things. Like, she was in what was it? She was in Godzilla versus Kong. She's been in some Fast and Furious stuff. She was in the movie Baby Driver. I love that movie. That is one of my favorite movies. And like, I didn't even recognize her at first until I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh, that's her." Wow, that makes sense. She's a really good actress.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing dragging this movie down is that they go a little too hard with the visuals to the
Mhm.
point where you almost kind of lose yourself in them, and that you're not paying the story the proper attention that it needs.
That's fair, cuz like I don't know if it's like supposed to be that way, cuz you're supposed to be kind of confused, cuz like she has amnesia and she's like piecing all these things together as she's remembering more and more stuff. But
Right.
like, even if that's the case, it's still one of those things where it's like it's almost too confusing. Like,
Yeah.
I really had to think about it afterwards to piece the whole plot together.
Yeah, I kind of felt myself like weaving in and out of the movie as I was watching it. Like, this is gonna be a bad like analogy, but it's almost like you're drunk, where like you're kind of like you're like, I'm really here, and then you kind of just like slip in and
Yeah.
then out and in and out like that. It's in your awareness. That's kind of what the movie was like. There was all the visuals going on, and you just get lost in that, and like it's a little hard to follow, not because they don't
Yeah.
like explain it properly, but because there's like so much like flashing in your face that it's hard to pay attention to everything
Well,
else
yeah,
that's going on.
like you and I even
But
had our own moment of like you didn't catch something that I saw, like where it was about uh the the twist of the movie is that there's like a parasite that's going around, and there's a moment where it's like talking to her, and uh you had a thought that uh it was an entity, like it was living on the planet, and it was mad at them for trying to terraform the planet. But uh what it actually is it's part of the race that is already terraforming this planet, and it's mad at them for trying to, take what's rightfully theirs.
I guess, yeah, like even now we're still kind of like not entirely grasping it. Like they don't.
Yeah.
It's the kind of movie where they'll explain something once and then they won't like reference that again. So like if you missed
Yeah.
it, like damn, too bad. You won't even be able to pick it up again like through context later.
I do have to say, the movie does a good job of keeping you guessing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you had
I know what, yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
Cuz they had like so she wakes up and she's got amnesia, and like something happened, and I'm like, oh, like when the main character wakes up at the beginning of the movie with amnesia, there's only like a handful of possibilities that are going
Yeah.
to come from that. So within like the first like 30 minutes after she walks around and like establishes like the aftermath of what had happened before she got her memory wiped, my first guess was that she was infected with whatever it was that the entity was or whatever the infection was. But then slowly throughout the movie, she gets like as she's putting on like the healing patches, she's getting bits of her memory back, and through that she gets visions of what happened, and she sees like the other infected people coming at her, and she having to like put them down and kill them. So it tricks you into going off the wrong path. So you say, "Oh, so I guess my original thought was wrong, and then she wasn't infected. They really were. They weren't trying to trick me. They really were the ones who were infected and attacking her." But then they're like, "Ha, no, we did get you actually because you were right the first time, and then we
Yeah.
tricked you into being wrong, so that
We
she
made you
was
doubt
infected."
yourself.
Because it jumps from person to person to person to person. Like it's not just like spreading or in one person and then they kill them and then it's
Oh.
done.
That was one part of this movie that was like both very well done, but like is like how it jumps from person to person. Because like the
Yeah.
first dude gets it like through his nose, and the next one like it crawls in their ear, and then hers she has a gash on her head, and it like crawls through the gash in her head, and, like holes up in her brain.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. I hated it.
So-
I hated it.
So, as someone who's seen quite a bit of Shudder movies, I've noticed that Shudder has its own like unique style of practical effects. Like their
Yeah.
practical effects tend to look the same. They tend to be like very high quality, but at the same time like obviously fake. Like it's just
Yes.
like, oh yeah, that's clearly made of rubber, but like it's very well detailed and very well like produced, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And this movie's no exception to that. All the practical effects looked really good for what they were, and even the digital effects looked fairly decent. But it's all the visuals actually that I thought were very, very good. Like the lighting, like the constant red and the blue, and everything that there was in the ship, all looked really good, and it gave it that kind of like new age horror sci-fi air to it.
That was something very well done by this movie that a lot of movies that do this same thing fail with, where they made it the lighting not very bright, but also like it's meant to be like, you know, kind of shrouded in darkness for a lot of scenes, but
Yeah.
it never makes it too dark. And that's
Yeah,
something
they
where a lot
usually-
of movies like fail at.
Yeah, they had a lot of that like sublighting where it was dark, but there was like a red light that kind of like shined all the details of them, so you could see their
Yeah.
face, their body, you know, whatever they were holding at the moment or whatever, but while still keeping the rest of the scene dark. So like that's
Yeah.
that's that kind of lighting that was working very, very well for
No,
them.
production on this movie, freaking A tier. Like they did the set looked amazing. All of the like obviously the lighting and like the way it's actually really cool because normally when you have like a setting like this where it's like facility on another planet, you never really get a good idea of how the building is laid out, but they show you enough of like outside perspectives of the building, and like they follow the characters through the halls enough where like I was able to understand. Like it's one of the rare times I have like a rough layout of the building. Like
Yeah.
normally it's just like it's just a ship, whatever. It's big and huge. You don't need to worry about it. But not like all like that was something that was super consistent in a lot of shots where it's like they would film a room from the same angles and everything, so that way you would get like a good subconscious like understanding of how the building is laid out, and that was very well done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give them credit to that too. Right. I don't have much else to say about this movie. How about you?
No, not really. Oh, there was one thing. One scene in this movie that I absolutely fucking loved.
Hmm.
It's something that Shudder movies do very well, where they will have some scenes that'll just come out of nowhere and just you'll be just like, "Oh my god!" Like it'll wake you up. And there was one scene where they went to go find this thing that they had detected on their scanners or whatever, and they find out that it's like this silo that's like built into the ground, and it's obviously like been made by some, like it's technology, like it's not theirs. And hence the ones that I was talking about earlier, where it's like these aliens that are
Yeah.
already trying to terraform this planet. And they're like, "Oh, how deep is it?" And Flying Lotus is like, "Here, drop a rock in it, see how far." And it like drops, and they're counting, and then when it hits the ground, it like lights up the whole cave, like this really cool, like greenish color. And they're like, "Oh, cool, that was cool." And then it lights again, and they're like, "Oh, wow!" And then all of a sudden, this rush of air comes out of it, and the fucking rock rushes back up and smacks Flying Lotus in the face at Mach speeds, just crushes his fucking face in. Like, oh my god, it was so good. Well, without further ado, let's move on into the rankings for this. I'm gonna give this movie a good 6 out of 10. I enjoyed this. It was a good sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah, I'll give it the same 6 out of 10. Visuals were fantastic, but I felt like not just the story, but like the coherence of the story needed a lot of work. But I kind of got the feeling that it was supposed to be more of a visual thing, anyways. But,
Yeah, that's definitely the impression the movie gives off.
yeah. All right. Well, that should wrap up our podcast about here. Isaac, would you like to give our viewers a little hint at what we can be looking at next time?
Yeah, next time we will have a new Jason Statham movie, A Working Man. Always fun to, watch him beat people up, because that's what he does. We have The Woman in the Yard. Uh get her out of there. We have we have Death of a Unicorn, which we're really only going to go see because, Will Poulter. We're big
boy.
fans of Will Poulter here. And our big event, we are going to go see the Minecraft movie.
Big old
this-
red ones.
Yeah, but at the very least, we are paying minimal money to go see it.
Yeah.
I wish we could say we are seeing it for free, but we did still have to pay for the Ultra Screen, but that's fine. We will be joined by both Alex and Merrick for that, so
Yeah, it
Gonna
should
be
be
great.
it should be quite a time. It'll be enjoyably bad, if anything.
exactly.
Right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe because it keeps us going back to the theaters and bringing these videos back here to you. Please check out our Letterboxd on screen now. And until next time, guys, that's a wrap.
Roll credits.